Yeah, not good as in the sense that he won't play this week. The bye will come at a good time for him too, so he'll at least miss this week. But yeah, grade 1 AC sprain, so they're probably 2 to 3 week injuries.
How about Tom Lynch? He had a moon boot on yesterday.
Yeah, he's fine. Listen, he's going to play. He had a moon boot on and he got teased and bullied by his teammates and coaches. Just something very minor with his foot, but doctor's precautions put the moon boot on, so he was the butt of all the jokes yesterday.
And McKay, Brown, Jacobs, Tomo, Jenkins, are they all been like 5 of them there?
Yeah.
Are they all okay?
Yeah, they're fine. Brown and McKay will certainly come back into the side. It'd be good to have those two guys back. They've been good players for us this year, and those guys will definitely be in. A few guys still a bit sore from the game. You know, Scotty Thompson, a different soreness. You know, he got through with that cork, but had a bit of an issue with an adductor. Looks like he'll be fine. He trained well today, but it's just getting to that time of the year, you know, where players are starting to develop sort of sore spots here and there, and we have to give them a little bit later in the week. So there'll still be one of those weeks where we'll probably test a few guys later on, but Jenkins is fine from that collision yesterday with one of the coaches. Lynch, yeah, he's fine too. So yeah, we shouldn't be having too many injuries with injuries outside of Petrenko.
So it's more so Tomo's the probably question mark.
Yeah, Tomo's probably the question again, the question mark again this week.
Is Rotten in that same boat?
No, he's fine. Yeah, he trained fully today and he'll be fine.
Did you make any changes on form and not just players coming back in after injury?
Yeah, we will. We'll make. We haven't had match committee yet, but there's been a few guys who have been a bit down for, you know, I guess too many weeks. So when you have a 77-point loss at home, you have to make changes. You know, you can't just say we forgive you and let's get on with it. There has to be some adjustments to the side, and we need to bring in hungry players. There's been some good form in the SANFL, so some guys will get an opportunity this week for sure.
One of those that may drop out?
No, he'll certainly play. I thought he was good when he came on as a sub last week. He was one player that gave us a bit of energy in that second half when he came on, and his energy around the contest. He's a threat for the opposition when he's forward. So yeah, he'll be in the 22 this week.
You say you're bringing some hungry players. Is that a statement saying that some players haven't shown that hunger?
No, more so I think it's the response we've got from those players playing in the SANFL. Sometimes they're lucky they get to play after the AFL game, so maybe they kick up a gear a bit, you know, once the AFL games they see a poor performance. So, you know, I went and watched Sturt versus the Eagles on Sunday, and, you know, there was a lot of Crows players obviously represented for both teams, and yeah, quite a few of our guys played really well, and they'll certainly put their hand up this week.
Have you seen enough this week to bounce back from what you called an insipid performance?
Yeah, the boys were terrible. The club was terrible. We didn't coach well, we didn't play well. It was a performance which we never want to see again, and full credit to Sydney because they taught us a football lesson, and we've hopefully learnt from that this week. You know, we had a good review, identified areas that we need to improve on. A few guys are down in confidence after a performance like that, so we've had to get them up, and I'm sure we'll see a much better performance in a must-win game for us this week.
What were some of the coaching mistakes?
I mean, Swans kicked 10 goals in a row. A side shouldn't kick 10 goals in succession, so at some point we should have put a number behind the ball. We could have made more adjustments on the field. But yeah, in the modern game, a side shouldn't be allowed to kick 10 goals unanswered. So that's part of that's mostly the players have to put their hand up and say, we didn't get it done. But from the coach's box too, we've got to make adjustments quicker and not allow our side to get such a big run on.
So the on-field leaders need to take some of that as well, put a number behind the ball without the instructions coming from...
Yeah, they do. We have a strategy for 7 defenders at times as well, so that didn't click in, you know, automatically. I mean, the rush was coming, and you're right, the leaders, the on-ground leaders and the extension of the leadership group, you know, so guys, you know, like Rutten and Douglas, Riley, those sort of guys have got to be able to, I guess, read the situation and make adjustments on the field before the messages come out through the coach's box. But, you know, as a club, we've all got a lift for this week against the Tigers.
How long does it take for the trust that must be dented between players and coaches after a performance like that? How long does it take to rebound?
Yeah, good question. I think you've got to see a better Crow side right from the first bounce this week, and the attitude at training's been great, the meetings have been great, but, you know, that's just talk. You have to see a better output on the field right from the first bounce, and, you know, the game in 120 minutes, you've got to see consistency with every effort that you put on. So every contest, you have to be able to fight to the death. You know, we didn't fight like a hungry team should. when it mattered last week. It's a long season, 22 rounds, really difficult to sustain that high intensity for the whole year, but that's where the competition's at. You know, it's so even. You've just got to keep winning contests when they're there, and that's what we've got to do this week.
You talked about that build-up in form over the last month or so. Do you feel like you're entering this game now just a few steps back?
Yeah, I did like our form. I thought we had 6 pretty consistent weeks. I thought even though we lost to Fremantle, we lost to Hawthorn, they weren't bad defeats. We were playing the right way. We took 2 steps back, you know, against the Swans last week, maybe 3 steps back. So we've got a long way to make up. We've lost the respect of the competition with a performance like that. So if this is a proud group, if this is a club that wants to be a finalist in 2013, we've got to start winning games straight away.
So you said about fight to the death. Is it come to that this week? As you said last week, you wanted to win at least 1, if not 2 of those games before the bye.
Yep.
Is this the one you really have to nail?
Oh yeah, I mean this is obviously the one that's right in front of us now. Richmond away at the MCG is going to be a really tough opponent, and we've seen how much they've improved, and they're a good side. What they did to West Coast, the last game they played was very impressive. So we can't go over there and play anything but our best footy to get this job done. So we'll make some adjustments at match committee. We'll look at some adjustments of how we play. Strategy will make a few adjustments too, but you won't see a performance like we saw last week.
And is 5-7 almost too hard to come back from?
It's not impossible, but it does make it really hard, yeah. So we won't be focusing on the end result. We'll be focusing on the process, which is another football cliche, but we just have to focus on our first quarter, our first contest, focus on the process, and hopefully the result takes care of itself.
Richmond are pretty erratic with what they serve up. Does that affect how you prepare for them, or do you prepare for their best?
Oh no, we certainly prepare for their best, yeah. If you allow Richmond to play their style, they'll beat almost any side, you know. They've got so much talent in that team. They play a really attractive style of footy, you know. They've been defending a lot better. They're going to be a tough opponent, you know. We only just got them here last year when we beat them here last year. We haven't played them much in the time I've been here, but yeah, this is a good footy team. They're full of talent, and at the MCG, if we allow them to play their way, they're going to make us look silly.
Criticism is they're building externally about the performance of the team, and even if they do make the finals, then they might be one and done out. Do you think that kind of criticism is justified?
Oh, it is, because if you look at our results, yeah, 5 and 6 is not getting it done. You know, we're 2 wins from 7 at home, which is unacceptable for this footy club. You know, we only lost 1 game here last year in the regular season, and we lost 1 final here. But we're already down. You know, we've lost 5 here already this season, which is really disappointing. But our form on the road's good. You know, we're 3 from 4 on the road, so we'll get away together this weekend. We'll pick a strong side, a song that's desperate to win, and I'm sure we're going to put up a much better performance than last week.
Is John Cock getting closer to the Sydney side?
6 goals helps, yeah. He certainly played well on the weekend, and you know he's had some issues this year with his body letting him down, and he hasn't been at peak fitness. And we've seen with the running that you need now in the modern game, even this year it's gone up again. You know, you have to be able to be an incredible athlete to play this game for 120 minutes. So, but his SANFL form is good. He's kicking goals. He's working hard. His body's getting back to where it needs to be. So he'll be one that'll be right in the mix again this week.
What did you learn from last week's loss?
Yeah, so Tamling's another one. I liked his game at Sturt. He's finding plenty of the footy across half back. He's experienced. He's played 120 AFL games. So yeah, he's another one that you think would be in line for selection too.
Is that with Tambling and John Cock, could their experience and age at this stage of the season be something that how much does that play in their favour?
Yeah, there's certainly positives in bringing in age and experience. Our young kids have been getting it done. You know, we've seen some real excitement this year from our younger players. So, you know, Brown, Laird, Kerridge, Lyons, Crouch. We've seen our next generation of young players come in and play really well. But yeah, we've got to make sure we get the balance right, you know, make sure we've got some good experience and age around them as well. But you also got to have talent, and those boys have certainly got that as well. So yeah, we'll try and pick a balanced side that's in form this week, and it's going to be a really big game for our footy club.
What did you learn from the Sydney loss?
Lots. We had a pretty extensive review, obviously. We didn't do many things right. Without praising the opposition too much, you know, they showed us how to play two-way footy, so how to attack and how to defend. You know, they certainly play a really ruthless brand, and sometimes you can learn more in a loss. hopefully we have, hopefully we do. So extensive review, players are saying the right things. But as I said, it's just simple words unless we take action on the weekend. And once again, that's the old cliche. We've got to let our footy do the talking. So Saturday afternoon, we've just got to get it done.
Just one of the most important games that you've coached here.
Yeah, I'm already anxious about how we're going to go. But that's a football coach, you know. If we pick a good side and we prepare well, we bring the right strategy into the game, I'll be really confident. But it's just a game we can't lose.
Do you need a bit more from the experienced heads in the side? They've been a lower a bit down on the weekend.
Yeah, across the board we were down, you know. We didn't get much from our senior group. Our young kids looked a bit flat. So yeah, we need a lift really across the board. But the experienced players will be the ones that say that they're the ones that need to play consistently well. So hopefully they improve this week.
So have you put the heat on individuals or just in the team aspect? Or have you actually eyeballed a few individuals this week asking for more?
Yeah, certainly, yeah. I mean, I do that every week anyway, you know. Really open feedback here. Do a lot of one-on-one meetings with players, spend a lot of time with the players. A lot of vision, you know, showing errors alongside with, you know, the things that they're doing well. But we're not getting we've just got too many guys who are dipping in form at the same time. So you can sometimes have 18 really solid contributors and win a game. We're probably getting 11 or 12. You know, on the weekend we probably had 4 good players. So we've got to make sure we get a much better output, more consistent from a bigger range of players. It was good on the weekend. He had 5 or 6 shots for goal. You know, kicked 2 goals, 1. Had a couple of posters. Hit the post once, kicked one out of bounds on the full. But he's starting to get a bit of confidence. He's starting to look pretty dangerous down there as a forward, and he's giving Jacobs a bit of a chop out in the ruck too. So he's quickly become a pretty important player for us, you know, since Tex's injury.
I know you asked this a lot about Dangerfield. Would you like 3 of them?
Yeah.
2 of them, but you're any closer to making a decision on where that you think you'd be best suited?
Well, at training today, he played across half back. So there's a little teaser for you. But we do need him everywhere, but we need more guys to stand up around him as well, you know. So, you know, Darren Jarman, when he was here, he used to take the centre bounce and then he used to jog down to full forward. Maybe we can start doing that with Danger as well. But he just needs some... I mean, he's had a good season. He's getting tagged now every week. We just need a few guys to stand up around him, and hopefully we can, if we play him forward, we can still keep winning clearances. And if we're winning clearances, we can kick it into a forward line that doesn't have him and still be confident. So, yeah, maybe he plays across half-back this week.
So you're trialling him for that position, that to sort of help shake a tag and give him more freedom?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And if you look across the competition now, you know, Sam Mitchell plays across half-back for Hawthorn. You know, a lot of sides now play their guns across half-back as well. You know, Bryce Gibbs for Carlton. We might try him in another position as well.
The umpiring, you spoke about it briefly on Saturday night. You noticed a distinct change in the way they're going about it?
Yeah, a little bit on the weekend, yeah. You notice there was less free kicks paid, which is good. As I said after the game, though, if there's a free kick, just pay it. If there's a free kick, blow your whistle and pay a free kick. So exactly what we say to our players, you know, don't overthink the situation, just play. A bit like the umpires, you know, if there's a free kick there, pay it. And I'm sure that's the instruction they've been given.
Do you like the fact they're letting play go a bit more though than some of those ticky-touch threes like the Scott Thompson, Hawthorn one?
Yeah, I think we all do, yeah. I think as a football fan, as the spectators would agree, they like a free-flowing game and without too much sort of stop-start for the little ticky-touch wood ones.
Mark Evans said he'd spoken, so James Heard said Mark Evans had spoken to him and the umpires were in the rooms before the Dreamtime clash about that. You've had no instructions at all from anyone about that? Or?
Not so much. We've had Mark Evans here a few weeks ago talking about, you know, rules for next year and the adjustments to the competition long term, but we haven't spoken to the umpires directly, no. I mean, we sort of chat with the umpires before each game when they come in the rooms and shake their hands with the players, but nothing really concrete about the way the game's heading this year.
So there's no chat? He knows like, oh, we're going to be hot in the back today? Or
No, we haven't had any of those chats.
Find out in the first few minutes.
Yeah, you normally do. I mean, and most footy people will tell you, if you watch the Friday night game, you can normally get a bit of a feel for what's going to happen for the rest of the weekend. So that's been the last 20 years anyway, since I've been playing and coaching.
It's a bit ridiculous though that we do sort of change in blocks. Like at the start of the season, this is the hot rule, then relax on that and pick up another one, and there's lots of
Yeah,
no free.
maybe, yeah. I mean, certainly they're red hot early in the season with a lot of rules, and then they slowly fade out, maybe. You know, some things you sort of forget about, and, you know, wasn't that a free kick in round one sort of thing, but the game normally sort of finds itself about this time of the year. You know, we get a more consistent sort of approach than what we do at the start of the year when it's sort of red hot on every little thing.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.